Okay friends, well, we have made a couple of big moves in the last couple of weeks here. We bought a car, Toyota Fortuner, 4-wheel drive, and we just purchased this 1978 retro Caravan. And we are very, very excited to put these two things together and to start this next chapter in our exploration of New Zealand. New Zealand has a unique history with caravans. Starting in 1946, there was a big demand post-World War II for vans as New Zealanders started taking to the great outdoors. Across the country, there are caravan parks in some of the most sought-after real estate. Beautiful beachfront or lakefront caravan parks dot the country on both the North and the South Island. And while many people choose to travel New Zealand by van, which we did back in 2019, Kiwis tend to opt for caravans. And since we're now a growing family of 3, myself, my wife, and my dog, we figured a little bit more space wouldn't do any harm. But we didn't want a big caravan. We wanted something small and manageable that could easily be towed by our car. So when we found this beautiful vintage 1978 Caravan on Facebook Marketplace, we pounced on it. Well, friends, today is an incredible day. Feeling just so grateful, so happy to be alive, and we're so stoked to be here, to be able to do this, to be able to share this with all of you back home. We are in Ahobe Beach area, and we just bought this retro Caravan. I'll take you inside and show you it tomorrow, but we do have to do a little bit more driving to get to the caravan park where we'll be sleeping at the beach. There's going to be some waves, there'll be surfing. I have so much that I want to say, but I need to gather my thoughts, and so we'll check in with you tomorrow morning. Hey, sleepy boy. Sleepy boy, wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Oh, hi. How did you sleep? Did you sleep okay? Huh? Good morning, friends. It's a beautiful day here in the Bay of Plenty region of New Zealand. Had a little bit of rain last night, and very happy to say that the Caravan is waterproof. Yes, that was definitely a sneaking concern. The previous owners took really good care of it, but they hadn't actually slept out in it in a big rainstorm, and so we're quite happy to report that there are no leaks. Woke up in the middle of the night, we had the little pop top air thing open, so I closed that off, and we slept comfortably and warm and dry in here. Having a cup of coffee now. It's about 6:30 in the morning. Yeah, it's just been really, really pleasant. This is my first time really ever sleeping in a caravan. Out of all the times that I've traveled around, this is a first for me, and it's definitely a first owning one. So we're really excited to put our little touches on this beautiful little caravan. We do have a big trip planned all the way down to the bottom of the South Island. The end goal is Milford Sound. That's in the Fiordland region of New Zealand, and it'll be autumn down there. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Carrie's never been down there. I haven't been down to Fiordland since 2008, and having this little home on wheels is just going to be the absolute best way to see it. Been pretty stoked though. Like I'm very pleasantly surprised with this part of New Zealand. I have never experienced it before, and spent the last 2 days surfing some of the waves in this area, and they were fun and pretty good surf. Felt great to be in the water. I hadn't actually had a good surf in a few months due to just all the moving and managed isolation and getting all of our paperwork and stuff in order. It's just been a lot, so I haven't really had a free moment to go surfing. So it was really nice to get back in the water,
get a couple of waves. So shout out to Richard Kidd from Marshwood Apiaries for lending me a surfboard until mine arrives. Clutch move. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
But when it was time to pack up and leave the beach, we were hit with an unexpected surprise. Okay, friends, well, today has taken a little bit of a turn, an unexpected turn. We were routed by Google Maps down a logging road through the Matahina forest. And we've been on this pretty heavily rutted dirt road for probably the last half an hour, and it looks like we still have at least 30 Ks left before we get back onto a major highway. We have not towed our caravan off-road yet, and no, everything's still holding up pretty well. You know, we're putzing along at 40 and 50 kilometers an hour, and the car's doing well. It's in four-wheel drive right now, and it's in power mode, towing. As unexpected and slightly anxiety-producing as it was to find ourselves in the middle of a forest in a rainstorm, towing our caravan down a wet, muddy road, feeling pretty good about it. Feeling pretty good. We're definitely gonna have to clean our caravan because it is caked in mud. No worries though, everything held up just fine and we made it back in one piece. Okay, we've got some work to do today. Here in New Zealand, if you want to do what's called freedom camping, you need to have a self-contained vehicle or sleeping accommodation like this caravan. Now, what that means is the caravan is not dumping waste everywhere. Either gray water, which is the water you use to do the washing up in the kitchen, or black water, which is like your sewage waste. This caravan does not have either of those things. So to remedy that issue, today we are loading up the caravan and we're driving up to Hamilton, which is a city in the center of the North Island. It's about an hour and a half away from here. There's a store there that specializes in selling stuff for RVs and caravans, where we can buy a marine toilet and we can buy a gray water tank. And then hopefully that will be enough to get this thing certified for self-containment and allow us to freedom camp on the South Island.
Okay, well, we have arrived to Motor Home and Caravan World in just outside of Hamilton. We've met the owner, Dave, who is a very interesting character.
And we're trying to get this gray water tank to attach in to our hose, which currently, right now, is just this little knob here. So we're gonna have to replace the hose. Dave, who's the owner of this place, is a nice fellow and he's trying to help us make this all work, but I don't want to freak him out by like vlogging. So we have disconnected the hose from the sink. There we go. We have removed the old sink, and now we're gonna take this new 25 mil tubing that I bought, and we're gonna attach that onto the base of the sink down there. We'll put this over it so it's nice and tight, and then we'll thread the tube down through that hole, which we will reseal, and then we'll cut to length, and we'll get the valves installed on the outside for the new gray water system. What we're gonna do here is we are going to loop the tube like that, and we're gonna secure it with a zip tie, and then that way you don't have the stinky water coming back up and stinking at the caravan. Okay, that's how it looks now. All we have to do is just go back and get a little plug for that, and we're good to go for the gray water. Okay friends, well yesterday was a big day, a lot of driving, and we managed to swap out the old plumbing system. The next thing that we need to do is we have a spare wheel. This is the spare wheel that the Caravan came with. So in case you get a flat tire when you're traveling with it, you can switch it out. Now, the previous owners would just put the spare wheel in the Caravan when you're traveling with it, and then when you get to your location, they would just take it out and kind of leave it outside. It's not a good practical solution. So this is what we're gonna do. Caravan itself can run off of either electricity, which you can get when you plug in at a powered campsite. Also runs off of gas. The gas will run the stove inside. There's a little gas burner as well as a refrigerator. This gas holder is actually taking up a lot of prime real estate here on the front of the Caravan. So what we're gonna do is there is a mechanic shop. They're going to essentially remove this holder, and then they are going to mount the spare wheel right here. Within the spare wheel, the gas canister can just sit right there and connect right back up, and we have essentially taken the space which was only good for one thing, the gas canister, and turned it into an area where we can store the spare tire outside of the Caravan, as well as store the gas canister. So it's kind of like two birds with one stone. But before we can do that, we have to take care of this tire. So as you can see, it's pretty dirty in here. There is a fair bit of rust. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean all this off. I'm gonna take some steel wool to get rid of the rust on the inside there. And then we're gonna just coat the whole interior as well as the outside with a new paint job that's gonna help keep the rust off. All right, steel wool. We'll see how well we can get it before we repaint it. We're gonna be coating the rim of the spare tire with this metal paint, and this supposedly gives 8 years of rust protection. So I finished off giving that a good scrub down to get most of the rust off with the steel wool, and now it's time to paint. What's going on in here?
I'm doing a deep clean. I'm essentially removing everything out of the Caravan so that we can kind of bring it back in once all of the interior pieces are clean, like all the drawers and cabinets and stuff like that. And I'm just like getting in deep where maybe it hasn't been cleaned for a very, very long time. So the not so fun part, but a very crucial part for us to sleep peacefully, calmly, happily, knowing that we did a good clean.
All the touch-ups are done on the wheel, and actually both of the other wheels I figured I'd just throw some on there as well because there were a couple of paint chips that were starting to rust. So you want to make sure that you get on top of that. Rust is not good for wheels, and feeling good that we made some progress there. Meanwhile, Carrie has been working on getting all of the cabinets lined with a liner, which is kind of like a foam marble look. Looks really good. She did a great job. And now she's inside with the paint that we got specially made to match the color on the inside, and we're just doing little touch-ups because there's not a lot to do in there in that regard, but there are certain sections that are chipped where it's going to be nice to just do a little bit of paint on the top of that and fix it up. The previous owners threw in a lot of very useful
house appliances, but they all need a lot of TLC. So we've got some steel wool, take the rust off. We got some water in there and some dish soap, and we're gonna get to cleaning. We're gonna clean it all up and bring it back to life. I can say there's something very appealing and satisfying about taking something that's still useful but needs some TLC and putting in the elbow grease to bring things back to life. And what we're doing here today is essentially just taking the elbow grease and giving the TLC to as many corners of this Caravan as we can. Well, after a fair bit of scrubbing with the steel wool and a little bit of dish soap, we're looking a lot better with those. These two pieces of equipment are super important. This is our marine toilet, and this is the gray water tank. And both of these are essential if you're trying to become self-contained. You need to, by New Zealand law, if you want to freedom camp, you need to have a place to use the toilet, and you need to be able to contain your wastewater. So with these two pieces of equipment, we should be good to go. Also, I think you need to have a covered trash can, and then we're gonna take it in to get that certification soon. All right, friends, well, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, you know what to do. Please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and make sure you're subscribed with notifications enabled for my channel so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming Caravan Chronicles. As I record this, we're leaving tomorrow for a month-long trip through the South Island where we will be camping in some of the coolest locations in the country, so don't miss out. Make sure you're subscribed because there's going to be a lot of new videos coming your way very soon. All right, see you in the next one. Peace.